So we're going to be reacting to how people in 1999 imagined the year 2000.
In 1999, as the world was awaiting the arrival of the 20th century, a group of French artists were asked to imagine what life would be like 100 years into the future, in the year 2000. They accepted the challenge and they took it seriously. After all, they were told that their work would be displayed at the Paris World Exhibition in 1900. They talked to scientists, businessmen and thinkers of the day to compile a list of innovations that could possibly be in use by the year 2000. The vast majority of the images that I'm about to show you were made in 1899. Some of their predictions are laughable, some are almost right, and some are surprisingly accurate, and some are ahead of our time now. Never mind 2000. These images would go on to be used as cigar box inserts, and then for 70 years they were completely forgotten. Until the 1980s, when Isaac Asimov acquired a set of them and published them in a 1986 book entitled Future Days, a 19th century vision of the year 2000. The images that I'm about to show you show just how far humanity has come. Things that are normal and commonplace for us today couldn't even have been imagined in 1899, but they had a really good shot at it, and in some instances they almost got it right. Please sit back and enjoy L'an 2000, literally in the year 2000. This is how they envisioned sea travel, underwater and powered by whales. Isambard Kingdom Brunel had already solved iron-hulled ships, powered by steam at this point. This is a poor start for their future predictions. Maybe the previous picture was a pleasure cruise underwater. It looks like everyone has hopped off the whale-powered sub for a game of underwater croquet. This is entitled Torpedo Plane. 4 years before the Wright brothers had developed powered, controlled, heavier-than-air flight, we were already predicting that war would be fought in the air. Sadly, they got this one right.
Yeah, that's kind of nice that they at least got one right. But if you look at this plane, it looks horrible. Yeah, now we have way better aircraft than they even imagined. That can do way more fucking damage than whatever this is.
This one is entitled Battle Cars, but they've correctly predicted the armoured battle tank.
Armoured battle tank. Yeah, they got this one too.
They're along the right lines here. We do have a lot of labour-saving gadgets these days, but having all of your beauty needs met at the flick of a switch is still some way off.
Yeah, it's a little bit off.
Oh dear, it looks like the croquet game has been interrupted by a giant octopus. They seem to think that we'll be spending a lot of our time underwater at the turn of the millennium. At first glance, this looks crazy. The teacher is feeding the machine with books, and the knowledge is being fed into their brains electronically. On the same day as I'm writing this script, Elon Musk's Neuralink has just received FDA approval for human trials of his brain interface. Really? Elon predicts that in years to come, we'll have AI and the internet in our brains via a neural lace. This is scarily accurate and still...
I mean, honestly, if you were able to put a shit ton of information in your brain in a matter of seconds, I think a lot of people would actually use that to their advantage to try to make money. One way or another, they're going to try to make money out of this. If they're able to learn an entire book by memory, who wouldn't do it, to be honest? I think education would become way cheaper if you were able to just kind of download the answers in your head. That would be kind of nice.
Some way off, but it will come.
This one, they might get it right, but just not yet. Maybe in 100 more years.
This is entitled A House Rolling Through the Countryside. Well, we did have RVs in 2000, so it's partially correct.
It's kind of right.
We don't sit on balconies and roof terraces whilst on the move, though.
It kind of looks like a movie restaurant.
They predicted sound without the need for someone to be there playing instruments. It looks like the conductor is flicking a switch and machines are playing the instruments. We're underwater again. And this time, it's a day out at the races.
Can't just have a DJ.
This gentleman is receiving his voicemails in the morning. They're right about voicemail, but wrong about the delivery method. His manservant seems to be bringing him a gadget, which will be played on his desk-bound audio device. I'm going to give this one partial credit.
They didn't have phones back then. It is the year 1899, so they didn't have like telephones at all or like landlines or anything like that. That was like 60 years ago. So giving like a voicemail, because before they used to use like actually handwritten letters for you to talk to somebody. You had to deliver them, and then it would take like a few days for it to get delivered. So a voicemail, yeah, he kind of got that one right, but a little bit different.
Late Victorians imagined us spending a lot of time in the air.
Those one could not work at all. If you crash in the air, you're done.
They envisioned law enforcement with high-speed chases on powered bikes. We don't have the inbuilt riot shield, so again, partial credit. They predicted advancements in how microscopes would change our view of the world.
Photographs. I mean, yeah, they got this one right now. We do actually have these. Not for microscopes, I guess, but we could potentially have it for microscopes. You kind of just have to put a picture of it, and it would work the same way. Yeah, they did not get this one wrong.
They predicted that we'd all have means of personal flight. These thieves are using their ability to fly for nefarious purposes, robbing nests perched high on rocks.
That would be cool.
They thought that you could go into a clothes shop and have your clothes made on the spot, just for you.
Do we have that? I don't think so. We can have it tailored, but it would take time.
This one is entitled Intensive Breeding. The eggs are fed in at the top, and chicks are delivered via a chute.
I'll give it to them. It was creative.
Again, this is a prediction of aerial military capabilities. He's a solo advance party observing the enemy from the air. This is how they saw the future kitchen. They're right about the mod cons and the labour-saving devices, but this one looks more like a lab.
Are they trying to predict Breaking Bad? Is that what they were trying to do?
If we're all going to be flying, then you're going to need the aviation police. Here we have a routine traffic stop. Fishing for seagulls whilst underwater. Maybe they're predicting climate change and the rising of the seas. I'm giving this a partial credit. Farms are now industrialised with incredibly efficient machinery. This farmer is managing his crops with just a flick of a switch. Maybe in 20 years, with the development of AI and robotics, this image will be even more accurate.
If you think about how much labor farmers used to do back in the day, because everything would have to be like hand done. So picking every single like carrot, you have to do it by hand. You have to have a big staff of workers for you to get the fields done. But now it's kind of like more like trucks and stuff like that, so that helps them out a lot.
This guy is printing a house. Incorrect for the year 2000, but spot on for 2023. The architect is pressing a button and the house gets printed. Technology that is available today.
And they actually got this one right too. Holy shit. They were not off at all.
They predicted electric trains.
And once again, they're not wrong. There is electric trains up there.
No more back-breaking work for this housemaid. No, with just a tug on this brass bar, all of the cleaning is taken care of with this device. Again, they were way off the mark for 2000, but in 2023 we do have robot vacuum cleaners, so partial credit.
Oh yeah, so the year 2000. But yeah, they got this one right too. Innovation.
We're back underwater and we've clearly found a way to make seahorses so big that we can actually ride them. This guy is dictating his letters. His speech has been converted to text and then printed out on a printer in his office. Again, they were wrong for the year 2000, but spot on for 2023. Speech-to-text technology developed by the likes of Google and Apple has made this scene a reality.
That's so nice that you actually have that. You know the thing about it? That's such a good invention.
They're having a video call. None of these predictions suggest internet communications or that iPads would be a thing. They just knew that this sort of thing would happen someday, and they were absolutely right.
Yeah. Damn.
This modern house is warm and cosy because that's radium in the fireplace. Mercifully, this prediction did not come to pass. They thought that all of your barbering needs could be met with the flick of a switch and with a terrifying gadget wielding a blade. Again, mercifully, this didn't happen.
Yo, that's one of the things that I can't really imagine being replaced by AI, a barbershop. There's no way that barber gets replaced by AI. Just because there's going to have to be too many details that go on about it. I can see surgery being replaced with some type of robot that helps you do it precisely, but a barber, your head will be moving all the time, so I don't think it's possible.
Electric rollerblades. I'm putting this in the why don't we have them by now category.
We do have, like,
This guy is listening to his
skateboards.
newspaper. They envisioned a time where you didn't need to read the news. No, you could just sit back and have the news read to you. They got the delivery method wrong, but other than that, they were, of course, spot on.
They were spot on.
They predicted huge advancements in astronomy with huge telescopes of ever-increasing size. I'm giving this an A+.
That looks nice.
Mid-air lawn tennis, sadly, never seemed to take off.
That would be such a cool invention.
This is how air travel was envisioned. The boat, they reckoned, could be made lighter than air. It's incredible to think that just 4 years after this was painted, we had invented the first aeroplane.
No way. I mean, we do have planes.
This one dates
Not
from
like that.
1910. It clearly depicts the Wright Flyer, invented in 1903. They predicted that you'd be able to rescue people at sea from air. We wouldn't do it in aeroplanes, but they were, of course, spot on.
They got it once again. These engineers back in the day,
They thought
like,
getting
they
the
had the right
post to
ideas.
people in rural communities would be much better from the air.
Once again, I don't know how that would work.
The aviation police again. They're making a mid-air arrest.
Damn, he's putting a gun with it.
This prediction must have seemed so obvious in 1899. Clearly, hunting would be easier from the air. They thought everyone would be flying in the year 2000, and that includes the fire service. But is this really so crazy? Why couldn't we now give a fireman a jetpack and a long hose for those really tall buildings? I'm putting this in the category of, it's a good idea, so why don't we do it?
I don't think it would work.
They were clearly misinformed about how slowly an aeroplane could travel. This pilot is just swinging past his local cafe for a much-needed glass of claret.
You just imagine that. Airplane wouldn't die, no.
They knew aeroplanes would be a thing in 2000, and this is how they envisioned an airport. They thought that there would be an aero cab station on virtually every street.
Aero cabs.
And finally, fighting on the land, sea and air. Sadly, they were absolutely correct.
Let's see, man. Look at this one, like, oh, it looks kind of weird because I feel like you just shoot at that and then you take it down. Oh, and they have the first time too. Dude, that was such a cool video. The engineers back then, they knew what was needed in society. They knew what they needed to work on. And I'm actually very happy that the people that we have today were actually able to pull it off, because they did actually bring a lot of these inventions to life, so that's very cool. And now I'm actually curious, what do we think will be a great invention for 100 years from now? I want to say, like, medicine that doesn't age you as much or just stops aging. That's one of the things I would like to have in 100 years. I'll say maybe cure the cancer in 100 years. I think that's doable. 100-year span, 2,125. Very weird to say out loud.